pretty offensive.
Pretty offensive.
What's up, guys? I am here with someone that might be familiar to you if you follow me on social media, Rob. You guys know I'm doing some marketing direction for Exo Oppo, and this is the founder. And what's cool is that I've remained in the automotive sphere. Exo Oppo is somewhat automotive centric,
yep.
Right? So he's here gonna help me out with this episode because in the last episode I told you we were gonna be talking about my Land Rover. So Rob, what are we doing and why are you here?
All right, so we have been spending days after days after days doing these cool walk around rigs, but you have been getting a ton of questions on just your daily driver. So today we are gonna look at Jory's daily driver. Today we are here looking at Jory's 2005 LR3 Discovery Land Rover. Normally, you would associate a vehicle like this with somebody like a soccer mom, maybe a grocery getter, or you'll find the counterpart Range Rover slammed down, blacked out, parked outside in your favorite drug dealer's house. Today, we are gonna see this Land Rover converted to the perfect daily driver, kinda.
All right, guys, so I've done a laundry list of modifications to this vehicle, and I've shown you some of it over on this channel. We're gonna do a full breakdown, a full review and walk around of this car over on the Exo Oppo channel. So you're gonna wanna go and subscribe, and I think we might have a giveaway going on. So
we have a great giveaway going on the Exo Oppo YouTube channel. We're giving away a Vero workhorse. Head on over, subscribe, leave a comment, tell them Time Teller sent you, and you're entered to win.
All you have to do, subscribe over to Exo Oppo, leave a comment on the latest episode, tell them that I sent you, and yeah, you could be entered to win a Vero workhorse once Exo Oppo hits 2,000 subscribers, and they are almost there, so don't miss out. So what's funny is, at the top of this episode, Rob said we're gonna see this converted to the best daily driver, kind of. And the funny thing is, I think I've taken a decent daily driver and converted it into the worst possible daily driver with everything I've done to it. And again, the laundry list of modifications is gonna be over on the Exo Oppo channel, but real quick, you can see I've done a lift, I've done bigger tires, suspension's been changed, haven't done anything to the engine, but all the gear and equipment and storage that I've put on this vehicle makes it very capable off-road, and honestly pretty decent on-road, but there's some downsides to it for sure.
So the question is, what makes a great daily driver? And a great daily driver is a vehicle that not only will get you where you want to get to, it not only will give you the luxury and the comforts that you want for your day in and day out, but it's also a vehicle that you want to drive, a vehicle that you can have fun driving, a vehicle that you look at and think, that's a cool vehicle.
And the truth is, what a perfect daily driver is probably different for a lot of people, because everyone has a different lifestyle, everyone has different obligations, everyone has different responsibilities, and everything down to like, oh, do you have kids? You're gonna be doing different things. You're gonna be going to school, picking them up, taking them to soccer practice and everything. Do you run a business? Okay, so you might be doing deliveries, you might be doing shipments, you might be going to the office in a different part of town. So I guess for me, I should answer what daily driving is.
Yeah, all daily drivers will be different for everybody depending on who they are and what they do, like you were saying. But this vehicle right here for your lifestyle actually makes a lot of sense. What are your top 5 reasons this is your perfect daily driver?
So I've never thought of this as my perfect daily driver, but there's things that I really do love about it. I guess the first thing is comfort. I mean, if there's one thing Land Rovers are known for other than crazy maintenance costs and oil leaks and everything, it's the comfort of the ride. And this is a very, very comfortable car, even though I have switched out the air suspension because I didn't trust it after I got a terrible failure on the trail in the middle of nowhere with no cell service. Second thing would be size.
That's what she said.
Although, you know, I don't have any kids and I don't roll out with a ton of people, being able to hold film equipment and being able to hold inventory and things like that, you know, as a young-ish entrepreneur that doesn't have a huge business backing him, it's definitely helpful to be able to hold all the things that I need to hold. The third thing would be probably safety. This is a big car, it's safe. It doesn't have the soft top that I used to have on my Jeep, which, guys, I live in Los Angeles. That thing got sliced like 4 different times and I had to buy like different tops for it, and it was moida. And then probably the fifth thing, I think we're on number 5, who knows. So upon this being edited, I was notified that I did in fact skip a point. So we're gonna go ahead and say the 4th point is that this gets attention, and I know that could be a bad thing, but in this case, you know, people notice this vehicle and tend to stay out of its way, which I guess kind of adds to the safety factor. So yeah, I love it. There is, you know, some very decent off-road capability with this vehicle, and I do different things in my life than I used to when I had a Jeep. So yeah.
So on my end, from an outside guy looking in who has a lot of experience in this car world, I'm gonna give you a couple things that I like about this a lot. One, the look is outstanding. When you're a big guy, you want something that looks masculine, something that looks like it could go anywhere and do anything. So this Land Rover definitely has that look. Second thing is comfort, like you said. I am 6'3", 245 pounds, and I fit in here very comfortably. There's no hitting my legs on the doors or the console. There's plenty of room for me to lean my chair back and get comfortable. So comfort is outstanding for this vehicle. The third thing for me would be the luxury component to it. Land Rovers traditionally has a lot of luxury built into their vehicles, and I love the technology that they put into it. And even though in my Jeep I'm such a basic dude, when I'm leaving my Jeep, I want that comfort, I want that luxury too. So I do love the luxury component to anything Land Rover, but this LR3. 4, you're talking about the security factor. This is a very safe vehicle. You can pretty much smash into anybody and walk away from it safely. 5 for me would obviously be something more a little bit on the impractical side, which is hitting those trails, because this vehicle is perfectly capable of hitting every trail you want to put your hands behind the wheel of and get on. So clearly when you have a vehicle that you love, it's not all good, of course. There are some downsides to a vehicle like this. I have my ideas what they would be, but why don't you tell me what your downsides to having this vehicle as your daily driver are?
So this is like a full disclosure, like realization, just admission. I don't think I've ever said on this channel or to anyone, I didn't buy this vehicle or build this vehicle with the intent of it being my daily driver. So because of that already, I've done things to it that probably wouldn't make it the best, and I've already kind of mentioned some of them. Lifting it and putting on bigger tires means terrible gas mileage. This thing has the 4.4 liter Jaguar V8, and it already was kind of a gas guzzler, but now that I've done the bigger tires, I've done the roof rack, I'm holding, you know, over 10 gallons of fuel up top. I have a spare tire up there. I have a big ARB bumper with a winch and everything. All the added weight and equipment, this thing's getting 11.6 mpg, and nowadays this taking the expensive gas, it's, you know, not great. The next thing that I would say is a bummer is this is from 2005, right? So this vehicle specifically is from an era of automotive manufacturing where it was kind of saying goodbye to the analog area and getting into the more digital space. Yep. But this is not perfect, right? So what are some stereotypes of Land Rovers? Well, they leak. That's true with this one, but it's you know, manageable. They're expensive to maintain. Yes and no, I'll get into that in a moment. But also their computers are always on the fritz. That's like a common thing that people complain about. Oh, the Land Rover computers. Oh, the Land Rover computers. They're actually right about that. This computer is very, very sensitive, and again, it is not the most sophisticated yet because it's from the earlier digital era. And so with all the sensors and all the things that are trying to calibrate this vehicle in any environment and this and that, all the things that make this very comfortable and good also make it kind of picky and finicky. I guess the last thing is something I just touched upon, which is like the expense to maintain. And I haven't really come across a crazy maintenance bill, but I have come across a few insane repair bills. Ends up the way that sunroofs are developed is they have drainage lines that empty out the side of the vehicle, and that's like pretty much every vehicle that has a sunroof has a system similar. This was developed very poorly, and over time when sediment gets into those drainage lines, it just ends up redirecting the water into the interior of the vehicle. So I had to get that fixed. That was my first like, uh-oh, did I make a huge mistake buying this car moment, because it cost me like $2,500. The next uh-oh, did I make a huge mistake moment was when I was on that trail with my girlfriend at the time, and I had a complete failure of the air suspension system. The compressor broke, and then all the air struts were not holding air. So any of the tricks with your onboard computers and everything to get you to limp it off the trail didn't work. So I was like slammed on the ground, limping it off the trail. And that was the day after that. Well, actually that evening, I ordered all the parts to do a coilover conversion, and that all, like, after everything was said and done, was like almost $5,000 to get the parts. And
I will say this: if you're going to do any kind of wheeling, air systems are not the way to go. I know a lot of people think it's very cool just to push a button and get some lift out of your vehicle, but if any type of failure happens, it could be catastrophic.
I can see why people complain about maintenance, but reliability hasn't really been a huge issue. Although, you know, if I stuck with my Jeep, probably wouldn't be dealing with any of this.
Okay, guys, we are not, of course, gonna leave this video hanging on something negative. So why don't you share with us some of the coolest features of this vehicle?
Awesome, let's do it. All right, guys, so we're back outside of the vehicle, and I'm gonna share with you some features that I absolutely do love about my Land Rover. And Rob, the resident off-road expert, is gonna talk about some of it as well. So, like I said earlier, I did not build this vehicle with the intent of it being my daily, right? I have two Porsches, an M3, they're all old. I'm the king of 80s, 90s shit boxes, and I don't want to daily those vehicles, right? 2 out of those 3 vehicles have roll cages and racing seats, and all of them are lowered with crazy suspension and everything.
And all of them are way more expensive to fix than this.
I don't even want to think about something catastrophic going wrong with those vehicles, so I'd rather have something go wrong with this one, and I'll deal with it later. But yeah, this is an automatic, first of all. I don't have to shift gears. That's the first feature that I would say I absolutely love. Rob doesn't really have to talk about that because he drives automatics, right?
All automatics.
Right. So he doesn't have anything bad to say about that. The next feature I love is that this thing is enormous. Okay? It is huge compared to this, which is Rob's TJ. And as you guys know, I owned a TJ built almost exactly like this. I had a little bit of a different type of suspension. That's a short arm kit. I had a long arm kit. We pretty much had the same size tires and everything. But Rob, I mean, would you rather sleep in that or this? Be honest.
So there's no such thing as sleeping in that, unless if I'm sleeping in the chair upright.
Right.
That's the big difference.
Right.
So this is a much more comfortable vehicle, and to be quite honest, for 99% of the trails that most people are on, this thing will do all of that better than good.
The next thing, speaking of size, is these seats all lay flat, all right? So this is the second row of seats, and I already have all of this room for stuff back here. And when those lay flat, I can actually lay down fully. I don't touch any of the sides. My girl, who is tiny, 5'2", can sleep next to me, and like it's comfortable, it's nice. Man, I've slept in this numerous times, had 0 issues, and the best part is I still have climate control inside.
That's
so
right.
I have the AC blowing if I need it. I have the heat going if I need it. The rear row of seats actually, believe it or not, have butt warmers. Can you believe that?
No, that's actually funny.
So that's really cool.
You know what? One thing that's really cool, turn this camera over here. One thing that's really cool that I just found out today is the way that the rear seat will actually elevate. And it elevates, I'm assuming, for kids, or for traditionally when you go with this Land Rover thing, it's probably some cool take on the Safari.
Right. So what he's referring to is those rear seats will actually, if I pull a lever, like go down, and I don't mean lay flat, it will lay flat, but it actually will go down if a kid wants to like touch the floor, or you can pull a lever and it goes up for like an adult like the size of him sitting back there. So it just adds more comfort. Holds all my gear, I can sleep in it, it's an automatic. And then there's the modifications that I love.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about it, but not a whole lot. But the main thing that you can talk about now, which would be great to even talk about again and again and again, is the coilover suspension. The coilover suspension, we're not gonna get too techie about it right now, but makes all the difference in the world for this thing, not only being comfortable on road, but also being reliable off-road. One thing I definitely want to show you guys also is this ARB bumper. When I think of Land Rover, and I'm starting to think of off-road companies, the first one that comes to my mind is ARB. They are synonymous with Land Rover, synonymous with Safaris, synonymous with that picturesque kind of image that you get in your mind when you think about rolling through the deserts in some kind of cool overlandy build. That's what ARB is for this thing, and this bumper is awesome.
So yeah, this is my Land Rover LR3, and the truth is, like, is it the perfect vehicle, period? No. Is it the perfect daily driver? Well, for some of you out there who commute a whole lot, probably not, because the gas mileage would just absolutely devastate you. But this is the perfect vehicle for me. I mean, Rob, does it fit my whole aesthetic and personality?
This vehicle 100% fits your vibe, fits what you do as a career. I would say that a vehicle is an extension of a person's personality, and this one has you labeled.
I appreciate that. And again, one of the most satisfying things is I got to build this kind of exactly how I saw it in my head. It looks like one of those Camel Trophy Land Rovers with the rack and the safari lights up there. Has the ARB bumper. It's just very, very cool, very, very comfortable. It has enough power, has enough space, has enough amenities to make me happy. And yeah, it's just a great daily for me. So, Rob, what do you want to say to carry us out here?
Guys, we want to remind you to head over to the XO Oppo YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, watch the videos that are on over there. Click on that first video that you come across. In the comments, leave Time Teller sent you, and you will be entered to win the Vero Workhorse.
There you have it, guys. If you like this kind of walk around rig content, talking about off-road vehicles, whether it be Sprinters, Jeeps, Toyotas, everything outdoor equipment, things like that, Rob's the guy to go to. XO Oppo, I'm very, very excited about that project. Again, they brought me on to do some marketing direction for them, and I'm just stoked to be part of the team, so I really do appreciate it. And if you like this, subscribe over there, leave a comment over there, win a watch over there. And if you haven't already, subscribe over here too, because like I'd really appreciate it, because this is my business and this is how I make money and this is how I afford gas for this thing. So please, I have a family to feed, guys. So there you have it, guys, another episode in the books. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you go check out my other project with XO Oppo. I'm T3.
It's time to drive. Okay, guys, that's it. But in the comments section, let us know, would you rather be driving a Jeep? Would you rather be driving a Land Rover? Or would you rather be walking?